Have you ever heard how a lobster grows? To get bigger, it has to shed its shell. It finds a safe place, struggles out of its old, rigid armor, and for a period of time, it's soft and vulnerable. That intense discomfort is the only way that it can create a new, bigger shell. This is a great paradox for growth. The very things that feel safe and comfortable are often the enemies of our progress. Right now, millions of us are in professional shells that we've long since outgrown. We find the pressure, the constraint, and the thought of being vulnerable, of shedding that armor, terrifying. But what I've come to realize is the real danger isn't the risk of making a change. It's in the quiet certainty of staying exactly where you are. And if that sounds even a little familiar, this video is for you. No, I'm not talking about just quitting your job tomorrow. I want to talk about something that's much more important. The hidden cost of standing still. Let's be honest, the feeling of being stuck rarely shows up with a bang. It's more of a slow creep. It's that Sunday evening dread that starts a little earlier each week. That feeling of being on a treadmill when you're working hard, you're busy, but you're not actually going anywhere. Do you remember how it felt when you first started your job? The excitement, the challenge. For a lot of us, that fire fades, and what's left is just routine. This state of being fine is just one of the most dangerous places you can be in your professional life. It's not awful enough to force you out the door, but it's nowhere near good enough to be fulfilling. It's like being in professional purgatory, and you're not alone in this. Recent data shows that a huge number of people are unhappy at work. In 2024, an unprecedented 59% of professionals admitted to actively looking for a new job. The issue, though, is that many people feel trapped. That's the real problem. We start mistaking comfort for happiness. We trade real fulfillment for what's familiar. The job pays the bills. Your co-workers are mostly good people, and you can do the work basically on autopilot. These are golden handcuffs. They feel safe, but they're locking you into a version of your life that you've probably outgrown. You start to realize that your identity is all tied up in the role that you don't even connect with anymore. This disconnect, this feeling of just going through the motions, is the first major sign that staying put just isn't a neutral choice. It's an active decision with real consequences. And those consequences are way bigger than we think. So what's the real cost of staying in a career that just isn't you anymore? Well, it's not about being a little bored from 9 to 5. That dissatisfaction bleeds into every part of your life. The connection between job dissatisfaction and mental health is undeniable. It's a major source of stress and anxiety that can lead to burnout and emotional exhaustion. One poll last year showed that about half of all employees felt burnt out in the past year because of their job. And that stress doesn't just magically disappear when you clock out at the end of the day. It comes home with you, messing up your relationships, your patience, and your ability to just be present in your own life. Then there's the professional cost, stagnation. When you aren't being challenged, you stop growing. Your skills, which were once sharp and relevant, can start to get dull or even become obsolete. Think about it. The world is changing so ridiculously fast. Industries are being completely transformed. Sticking around in the same role without actively seeking new challenges is like standing still on a moving walkway that's going in reverse. You're not just staying in one place, you're actually being pushed behind. But maybe the biggest cost, and the one that's actually hardest to measure, is that cost of missed potential. It's that nagging question of, what if? What passions are you not exploring? What talents are just sitting there collecting dust? Staying in the wrong career is robbing yourself of the chance to find work that could genuinely light you up. Staying put isn't just about avoiding a risk, it's guaranteeing the regret never knowing what you could have become. So if staying put is so draining, why do so many of us do it? The answer is basic and simple. It's fear. The fear of the unknown, fear of financial instability, fear of losing our identity, of failing, of looking like a total fool. The fear that we'll make one giant irreversible mistake. And that fear can feel like a massive, unscalable wall. But this is the single most important mindset shift that you can make starting today. That fear is not actually a wall, it's a compass. That anxiety you're feeling, that isn't a stop sign. That's a signal that you're right at the edge of a major growth opportunity. It's your brain and your body telling you that you've outgrown the current situation and you're ready for what's next. Discomfort is just the price of that transformation, just like it is for the lobster. We have to completely reframe what a career even is. For generations, we were sold on the idea of a linear ladder that you just climb and climb and climb. These days, that model is broken. A modern career is much more like a portfolio, a collection of different projects, skills, and experiences that evolves as you evolve. It's not about finding that one perfect thing for the next 40 years. It's about finding the right thing for who you are right now. The act of even thinking about change is an act of self-discovery. When you start asking, what else could I do? You're really asking, who else could I be? And that's not a question to be afraid of. It's the most powerful question that you can ask. The problem isn't the logistics of changing jobs. It's the internal belief that you can't or shouldn't. It's not your circumstances that are the real cage. It's your own limiting beliefs. I'm curious, what's the single biggest fear that pops into your head when you think about making a change? Is it the money? Is it what other people are going to think? Let me know in the comments, because reading through them helps everyone to see that they're not the only ones feeling this way, and I promise I'll read as many of them as I can. Reframing your fear is step one. The next step is taking a small, manageable action to build momentum and confidence. Now, notice I didn't say start typing out a new resume or start panic applying to jobs. That stuff comes way later, not the panic applying, but the other stuff. The real work of career change starts on the inside. And here are 3 simple steps to get you started. Step 1 is the internal audit. You can't figure out where you're going until you get brutally honest about where you are. Grab a notebook. First, inventory what's just not working for you right now. Is it the actual tasks? Is it the company culture? The fact that you have zero autonomy? Be specific. Next, look at it from the other, more positive perspective. What parts of your life, inside or outside of work, make you feel energized and completely lose track of time? Maybe it's organizing a community fundraiser, getting lost in a complex spreadsheet for a personal project, or teaching a friend how to do something new. Don't judge these things just yet, just list them. This isn't about finding a job title. It's about finding the raw ingredients of work that make you feel alive and that you're interested in. Step 2 is low stakes exploring. Think of this as flirting with career options. You're not committing to anything just yet. You're just exploring with curiosity. Pick one of those energizing things from your list and find a tiny way to engage with it. If you love writing, start a simple blog or offer to help a local nonprofit with their newsletter. If you're fascinated by data, take a free online intro course. If an industry seems cool, find someone on LinkedIn who works in it and ask for a 15-minute virtual coffee just to hear their story. These small actions do 2 things. They teach you new skills, and more importantly, they give you real-world data on whether you would actually enjoy the work. This is how you build real confidence and shut up that imposter syndrome voice in your head. Finally, step 3 is the validation project. Once you have an idea or 2 that feels genuinely exciting, it's time to start testing it with small projects. Can you take on one freelance client on the side? Could you build a tiny app or draft a business plan for a fake company, or volunteer for a short-term project that uses these new skills? This isn't about making the full leap just yet. It's about getting concrete proof that your skills are valuable and that you like using them in a real-world setting. This is also where you might uncover some real perks, like better earning potential or a healthier work-life balance, which are major drivers for people who successfully change careers. The feeling of being stuck is a universal human experience, but it doesn't have to be your permanent state. The truth is, the career that got you here might not be the one that gets you there, wherever there is for you and what you want out of your life. Clinging to it out of fear isn't playing it safe. It's actively holding you back from a life of renewed passion, deeper purpose, and incredible personal growth. By seeing your fear as a compass and taking small, deliberate steps to explore what else is out there, you can start to design a professional life that actually fits who you are today. The process itself is transformative. You'll become more self-aware, more resilient, and way more confident. The goal isn't just a new job title. It's a new relationship with your career and ultimately with yourself. If this video sparks something in you, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. I share career and talent strategy videos every week. I'm on a mission to make the world a better place with happy people in fulfilling, rewarding careers, and I want you to not just be fine in your life and in your career, I want to help you to be fulfilled.